Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today on Tallidus Plays, we're getting some first impressions on Mars Attracts. This is the demo for the upcoming Mars Attracts video game. And you may or may not know this is based on a movie that came out roughly 29 years ago in 1996. But you know what I say, better late than never when it comes for a video game movie crossover. Also, Mars Attracts is definitely, I'm going to say tracks a lot here. Mars Attacks was definitely one of my favorite movies of the 90s. Sort of a wacky sci-fi take. Let's jump right in here to the demo. Play First Frontiers, learn the ropes in a spacious valley situated between the rolling hills of the Martian countryside. No humans were harmed during the making of this game. The same cannot be said for interns. Okay. Caretaker Narlac. Ack. You must be the new general manager. It's about time. I've been waiting for you to show up. Welcome to Mars' first ever human-themed tourist attraction. HQ has high hopes for this place, though now that I see you may be able, I'll let them know to temper their expectations. So that's insulting. I do like how they show their natural language first. Humans may bring in the crowds, but remember, they're slippery creatures. While their enclosed brains may seem small and underdeveloped to us, research has shown them to be surprisingly adept at subterfuge. I did inform the board it would take a cunning mind experienced in business and human relations, but, well, here you are. You can find the objectives panel on the right. Let's start with some basic controls. We move the camera, WASD. Mouse wheel zooms us in and out. And we rotate with Q or E or drag the middle button. Pretty standard theme park controls. Although dragging to the right turns it left, that's a little weird. But we'll get used to that. No one wants to go to any park. Place a human enclosure near the park entrance. Then install some windows for guests to admire the humans from. So this is basically a Zoo Tycoon game. Sort of a blend between a Zoo Tycoon and a Roller Coaster Tycoon, except animals are not the attraction. It is humans themselves. We have these different habitats to choose from. Looks like they're themed to different human enclosures. In this case, we have Ancient Rome. So we can click, and it seems as though we click on the walls to drag it out in a grid-like fashion. So let's click and drag. So we can drag out a square here. Again, I think it needs to be a minimum size. We'll do 10 by 10 just to start. And now we need to place some windows. Let's go back to that enclosure. So we click on it. How do we place windows? I guess if we scroll down here, we have the walls. We have walls and doors, amenities, decorations, paths, and facilities. So we want to look here. We have gate. So this allows staff to enter and exit human enclosures. That makes sense. They have to have a way inside. And windows. Observation windows for guests to look into human enclosures must be placed with an enclosure wall. Okay. So again, you can rotate. I think they just automatically rotate. Oh, R rotates. So again, the arrows look like they have to be looking into it. So we want the arrows to be on the outside. So we'll put 3 of these down for now. Okay, park is looking pretty barren. So we're gonna wait till these finish getting constructed, I suppose. Oh, we need 4 windows. Okay, so we'll build another window. So we could build one on this side. Looks like they have the volume dial down to a reasonable level for the music right now. It's very theremin heavy, as you might expect. It's time to acquire some exhibits. The Acquisition Center near the park entrance allows us to launch expeditions to Earth from the Acquisitions menu. I think Acquisitions might be better called Abductions. Every expedition offers humans and or decor from the relevant habitat to add to your collection. So we'll click on Acquisitions. We will select Ancient Rome. And we'll send a raiding party. Looks like it costs 5,000. I guess we're going to call these credits for sake of ease. So yeah, let's send that and start the expedition. Raiding party expedition started. Okay, so they will travel to... it seems to be ancient Rome itself, so I don't know if we have some sort of time travel ability to go to all these different periods of time. But we'll see. Take a little while, so while we wait for them, let's get ready for some guests. I think we just saw the flying saucer, actually. I should have watched that. It kind of zipped off there into the distance. Saw the shadow. Each guest has their own preferences and needs. Check out the paths and terrains and amenities. So we'll go here. And again, I wanted to build a path around to this new window that we've built. So we'll just surround the exhibit for now with that path. This looks good there. So just dragging out a couple new paths for the guests. We'll kind of loop this back in on itself. Again, feeling a lot like the old Roller Coaster Tycoon. Very fun game back in the day. This is going to give us the option to make some benches for resting purposes. So it seems as though benches access, so we place it outside the path, they access it from the path. Good to know. So we'll plop down a few benches here, just in the immediate entrance area. 5 benches is what we need to place, so we'll just make this all benches here. 3 toilets. Alright, toilets. Guess these are all individual stalls. Oops. That's fine, we can expand the path to account for that. Not the fanciest looking setup, but it'll work for the time being. That's our 3 toilets built. It does seem as though we need water. So let's check this out. Some buildings require power or water to function. Install water generator. Install water pipes. Okay. So we have our water generator here. Interesting. It's not something you would worry about in most kind of theme park tycoon builders, but getting a little bit of a Sim City mixed in with our theme park. Water pipe. I'm assuming that these just get dragged out after the water is completed. Oh, I see. It's automatically connected. So, okay, we have water. And now for the main event, humans. Despite their tiny brains, humans are believed to have complex emotions and needs. That's why we've created a safe, secure enclosure to house them in. It has walls, a floor, everything human needs to survive and thrive. So we'll open acquisitions inventory to select a human and drop it in the enclosure. So we have our new humans here. We have HY9186 and GP3386. All. What a cute name. So we can view the humans here. They're both hanging out, having a great time. They look very comfortable. Yeah. So we'll place this human. And we will drop them in the enclosure. Let's see. Why don't we go ahead and place this other human while we're doing that. Also looks like we have some decor that is available. So let's drop this human in. And then they will eventually arrive via our flying saucers. There we go. Whatever the reverse of an abduction is. Is it just abduction? I don't know. Humans are a fickle species, so it's worth keeping an eye on them. If they become unhappy, who knows what damage they might cause. Click on a human to inspect it. Navigate to the happiness tab to see how it's getting on. Here we go. Check the happiness. Ah, so we gotta keep them happy. They look a little hungry. Yes. They seem to like decor and food from their original habitat. Why they prefer that to contemporary Martian cuisine is beyond me. So, we need to build inside enclosures. Click enclosures, click on the habitat. And now we basically create things inside for them. This looks like a very humane feeding trough that we can plop in here for their enjoyment. So let's do that now. Let's pop it right here. So we're dropping this food source in. And then we will wait for our humans here to enjoy their delicious food. Look at that. Very humane. That should cheer them up. They have satisfied their hunger need. Dispensers like the food trough have limited capacity and will need to be restocked from a storehouse. We have two types, one for humans and one for Martian products. We wouldn't want any contamination from the slop those creatures eat. Build a human storehouse from the facilities menu, then hire a porter to run goods to the humans' enclosures. So we have facilities, we got enclosures, amenities, rides, decorations, paths and terrain, facilities, utilities, overlays, and demolition. Pretty straightforward. We have a human storehouse here. I'm going to kind of put it in this middle zone so that they can run to different exhibits in the future. We'll put it right here. We need to hire a porter. I'm guessing we do that via some sort of employee tab. Let's see what we have up here. Hiring. Yes. So we have janitors, attendants, porters, security, and scientists. So let's grab a porter here. We can scout new candidates, or we can hire one of the ones available. It looks like they have different perks and potentially different debuffs and a relevant salary. So more credits for better perks. Let's look at Isaac Mac. Sorry, Mac Ack. I didn't want to mispronounce his name. Decreases the cost of expeditions by 20%. Oh, that's cool. We'll do this for now. Do their daily salaries change? Oh, they do. So they have a signing bonus and then a daily salary. Well, again, I have no idea what credits are really worth right now. So let's hire Isaac Mac Ack here. And we select a location to place him. So we'll put him right in front of the storage pod. Then we click the storehouse itself, and we assign the porter like so. Easy enough. Let's keep the human fed at least. I think it's time to get some guests in to see our handiwork. You can open the park from the park management menu at the top. So we have management here. Click on that, and we can open. Now we are attracting some Martians. And look at that. Here they come. You can unlock more amenities, upgrades, and even rides using research points from experimenting on humans. To conduct experiments, you'll first need an observation post with an enclosure to run the experiments. So, click on this, go down here to facilities, and look at that observation post biology. Max 1 observation post per enclosure. So we put this inside the enclosure. Okay. Kind of makes sense. We'll put it next to the feeding trough. I'm going to put it right up against it just to see if they can still access their feeding trough from the left side there. Just as a personal curiosity. We'll now hire a scientist to run it. So we need to go back to hiring. And let's get our scientists. Who do we have here? Nyak Tarak. We have Nyak Tarak. Oh, they must be siblings. Maybe twins. This one increases research points, so we'll hire Nyak Tarak. Now we can click on our observation post and staff it up. Oops. Staff. No staff available. But I have a scientist right here. Can I move him inside the pod? Maybe I need to do that. Staff. Huh. Interesting. Doesn't seem as though he is able to be assigned. Okay, so we hire directly into it, I guess. For that, we'll just hire Parlak Acker here. And there we go. That's scientist. I guess we just have one extra for now. That's okay. There are 3 types of observation posts and 3 corresponding types of research points: biology, physics, and chemistry. Each observation post provides unique experiments to generate research points featuring different pros and cons. As an added benefit, guests love watching experiments, humans not so much. Run an experiment for the research experiments menu now. So again, we have our hiring, our acquisitions, objectives. This is research. So here we can select the Ancient Rome observation post. And look at that, we have different experiments. We have durability testing, dismemberment, splicing. These look like they require more scientists than we currently have. So we'll start with just durability testing. Start that experiment up. We'll exit out here. It looks like our scientist is going to grab our human and maybe just do a little bit of experimenting here. I don't want to get too specific because I don't know exactly what's happening. Does look a little terrifying though. feel like they're whipping them around pretty fast, though. Oh, there goes another human. Okay. So the guests are having a great time. It does look like they're actively engaged with the windows, and it seems like only 5 at a time can get a good view. So that probably impacts the usage of the windows themselves. So gotta keep that in mind when building enclosures. Doesn't seem like there's a ton of variety in guests. They all seem to have a very similar character model so far. Raids are a great way to keep guests entertained and, more importantly, spending. You can recycle unwanted humans in the workshop to create more immersive rides, but for now, let's use our research points to unlock a basic ride from the facilities menu. Once unlocked, you can build it from the rides menu and then attach a queue for guests to wait in line. Rides also need an attendant to run, so that's kind of a unique thing as well. So research, facilities, and look at that. We have bouncing bugs available. This gentle rocking ride is ideal for the less adventurous guests in the park. We have our rides, so we'll go here to the rides tab and construct it. Again, we need to leave a little bit of room for the queue. This looks like kind of your typical little bouncing rocket ship you'd find at a supermarket. Put it right here. I'm not sure how the queue works. So, come back to the line and we could start building our queue up. So it looks like we just sort of stack them on each other like so. I don't want to build this too long because I don't know how far or how long they're willing to wait. But let's do like this and that. Can we turn it at the end? Yes, we can. Okay. That's good to know. And of course, we'll build a normal path as the exit. Okay. And now we need to hire our attendants. So we'll go to hiring attendants. What do you know? We have Mac, Ak, Parlak. Better stall capacity, ride ticket sales. Price increase. What do we have here? Signing fee increased by double. Ooh. Increases the revenue from assigned stall. But see, I don't think rides and stalls are the same thing. I think they're treated separately. So we'll grab Mac, Ak, Parlak here. Throw them down. Click the ride. Click the staff. Add. Macac, assign to the ride. There we go. So it looks like the attendant will basically be selling tickets at the front of the queue. Beginnings of a half decent park. You can click a guest or human to see more details about what they like, what they're thinking, and what they need. Different guests have different preferences, so be sure to build a varied park to appeal to the largest possible audience. You can use the speed toggle next to park management to fast forward if you'd like to get a move on. Now get to work. This wants us to check guest happiness in the characters menu. So right here we have finances, characters, and management. So check characters, and look at that. Everybody's having a great time so far. We could improve a couple things like hunger, thirst, and stimulation. Right, which we will do shortly. I think we should send out another expedition. Also, I want to see if there's an animation for that. And what do we have over here? Acquisition Center and the Research Center. So these are pre-existing buildings. I suppose that makes sense. Probably able to construct them in a sandbox world when the full game launches. For now, that's just where they happen to be. Let's go to acquisitions, and we will now go to the American frontier and send an expedition out. So we can do raiding parties or reconnaissance. Seems like reconnaissance is more about getting research and possibly some decor, but not as many humans, whereas raiding parties, you get that extra human bonus. But of course, they're a little bit more expensive. So let's just send out the standard raiding party here. We'll start that expedition now. And we'll see here. There it goes. Flying saucer is going up and away. I also think that implies that you can only have one expedition at a time in progress. Let's see, we need to build 3 types of star. So let's go ahead and build a storehouse for the Martian products. Because right now all we have is the storehouse for human products. So Martian storehouse small. Let's do this. And we'll align it kind of this way. And again, we need I believe, a porter for that. So we will hire one. You can see the little icon there. They're carrying the little doohickeys. Parlak accent here. Generic worker. We'll do that. Again, all the employees have unique models, but the Martians seem very uniform. And that might be part of the joke. But it would be nice to see a little bit of variety among the Martians here. We have the scientist just hanging out there. So hopefully I'll find a new spot for him soon enough. We'll assign our porter here, Parlak Axon. They also have a star rating, so they might be able to level up as we continue the playthrough. Let's check our research. Can I keep going on this experiment? It's 25, start experiment. We'll just start that experiment again and see if it gets us more research points to play around with. Again, the characters, I'm assuming that is number of guests in the park. And that looks to be the active research kind of going on there. Let's see, we need some stalls. So we'll go over here to amenities. And look at that, we have all the hunger and thirst. So hunger, we have a food stall. This is dispenses food for humans. But that's interesting. I believe that's probably meant to dispense food for Martians. Martian amenities. Yeah, I think that's just mislabeled. It says dispenses food for humans, but let's go ahead and pop it out here. Definitely doesn't look like a human snack that I would enjoy very much. Let's see here. I think we also have our expedition just got back. So let's build another enclosure before we do anything else. Build our American Frontier enclosure. So we'll start here, and we'll put it right about here. We'll make this 10 by 10 as well. Because, I mean, you gotta have a little bit of open space in the American Frontier. Here's our gate for our Martians to access. We'll put this on the back side for now, over here. Let's do it right there. And of course, we need a few more windows. So we'll pop these on. It looks like they automatically orient just to where the arrows are on the outside. And it seems like these are always 3 wide, so probably scaling your enclosures to be a multiple of 3 is not the worst idea. We'll go ahead and pop down some more paths so that our customers can enjoy all these fantastic views of the Earth wildlife. And naturally, we need to add some more amenities. We'll throw down a drinks stall. And, oh, I need to hire attendants for these. So we have attendants, they work rides and stalls. So here, Akari Tarak, we'll hire him. And we'll have him work the drink stall. And we could probably hire directly from the stall, right? Yeah, we can hire. That way they're just automatically assigned. We have Akari Parlak. Reduce the wages of all stall staff with this type. That's not bad. We'll do that one for now. Again, money's still going down. We're keeping an eye on our credits here, but I don't think that's a big deal in the demo. We need to build one more type of stall, but let's actually fill out this enclosure a little bit more here. We can do, what do we have? We already did the walls, the windows. We have fences, amenities. We'll throw in our campfire. So this will be a little bit more of an immersive place for humans to consume their food. I don't think we'll need the trough, since that counts for hunger. We will give them thirst and a toilet. That would probably be a nice thing to have. So we'll throw down a thirst and a toilet. And having all this, also, we can put this bath in here. This is very American West themed. So that's on brand. And actually, we'll give them some rest. For a little R&R, we'll put down 2 of these resting beds. We also need to actually put the humans in here, so let's check our acquisitions inventory. And when you know it, we have a few more humans here, enjoying their temporary enclosure. Looks like they will occasionally vomit spontaneously. That's kind of gross. Let's pop them in here. And look at that, we need to add water from our water pumping system. into these amenities. So let's do that now. If I recall, we need to go down to utilities and drag over these water pipes. So it looks like the water automatically connects under the paths. So what we can do is kind of like SimCity, actually. I'm going to run this water directly under the pathing. And look at that. We probably don't have enough water coming out of that generator. So let's build another one. Looks like there's an upgraded size that we can get. Let's actually go ahead and unlock this. And we'll build this now because we're going to be running out of water quite frequently if we don't. We'll just tuck it right here for now. When that gets built up, we'll throw a few more humans in the Wild West. Yes, there we go. And then eventually this will have enough water for everything. We also need to take care of these humans because they are very unhappy. So, we're going to go ahead and go back to our enclosures, type the Ancient Rome. We'll go to amenities. We need to give them some thirst. So we'll put it right here so all the visitors can see them enjoying that delicious water. You know, we'll give them a little privacy with the toilet, so we'll put it back there. Not really a window in the immediate area. Cleanliness. I forgot to put this next to the other one. Oh, wait, no, we put that spa in. And then rest. This is a special ancient Roman resting setup that looks like it holds 2 humans. So that actually works out quite well for our 2 inhabitants. Again, we need more water pipes going throughout the area. Gotta figure out what takes power, but at this point, it doesn't seem like anything needs it. And we're just gonna run this straight up this way so it connects automatically. And there we go. Let's pop in another stall here. We have some new decorations. You can unlock decorations, but look at this. We have an ancient Roman statue. So let's put one of these in. This looks very, very official. Totally not a Martian. Something the humans would definitely like to see popping up in the middle of their habitat. And you know what? I actually think these might be meant to go outside. Yeah, I'm not sure who the decorations are for, if I'm being honest. Maybe they're for both. Either way, we can use these drying racks in the human exhibit over here on American West. Make them feel a little bit more at home. But we don't want them feeling too at home, so we're also going to drop in a facility here. Let's see, it does seem like we're getting a little bit of dirt in our park, so let's actually put down a janitor station. I'm surprised this wasn't mentioned in the tutorial area, but we'll just drop one of these here. We need to hire a janitor. Phallic Tarak here seems pretty non-problematic, so we'll hire them. Dig in the purple hat. And they just get to work, but we will assign them to this station. Like our central statue here. It's very unnerving because you can see those eyeballs follow us as we turn the camera. I did not notice that before. That's a nice touch, actually. It's a decorative bust. So, again, very unnerving, but not a bad little detail to put in there. Look at all this litter. My goodness. We might need 2 janitors, actually. But first, let's go ahead and build another type of stall. So, I'm going to put in a guardhouse. I don't know if there are vandals, but you never know. Put it right here. I don't know where the door is on this thing, but we'll put it right there. And we'll hire a security guard. We need an active security center to hire said security guard. So we'll wait until that gets finished being built. And I think we're going to go ahead and hire another janitor to keep things under control here. It's getting a little wacky. Let's see. Workshop items require 20% more specimens. Decreases a building's beauty when assigned. Let's just do the vomiter. It is a janitor, so they vomit, they can clean up their own vomit. I don't know why spontaneous vomiting is such a common occurrence. Maybe it's something to do with the atmosphere that they're breathing in. I do not know. Also, is there a way to manage where they work? Let's see. click on camera. Okay. Go training, finances, current action assigned to personality traits. So there's not a way to actually define their footprint, so to speak. So they're just going to kind of go, I guess, out from wherever their post is. So the closest you can get to defining it is, I guess, wherever you place the janitor station. To that end, we also have the guardhouse. And I don't know if we can hire staff. We need to build the security center. So that's a facility. So this is a whole new thing. We have the Martian storehouse large, human storehouse large, and there it is, security center. So this looks like it's just another one of these big buildings that we put in. So we will line it up. That looks good right there. And when that gets built, we can hire our security staff. I also want to connect these to the path because I'm not really sure how this is meant to work. I do like the implication here that this is holding our actual human subjects in these like tanks. Let's drop some more paths in. Look at that, we can change terrain as well. Ooh, we can put some grass in. I wonder what the grass looks like. Not too shabby. It's got some clean lines there. Definitely not native to Mars, but what are you going to do? Yeah, see, it looks like these actually don't line up directly with the doors. So I think these buildings are mainly just a means of unlocking more tech. Let's hire our security guard. Oh, another Isaac Axon with decent stats. No signing fee. Increases a building's beauty when assigned. Would be the worst thing to have, actually, when somebody first comes into a park. To have the security kiosk looking pretty nice. Our janitors are keeping things under control. Bathroom lines are manageable. Looks like the worst is 4. And we need to build another stall. I have been stalling on that particular objective. So let's go here and check out our amenities. Let's see, we can buy a larger toilet, trash, litter bin. Let's put a few of those down. That's not a bad idea. And again, these aren't placed directly on paths. They're placed off the side of the path, it seems. Which is a little unfortunate as well, because that means you have to account for items like this. And you can't just kind of smush buildings up against the path. So it would be nice if there was a way to maybe split the difference and have them placed on the edge of any given path. So that I could put one like right there on that gray line. That would be nice, but what are you going to do? And here we have some more stalls. We can build a balloon stall and a map stall. So again, these are like our information booths. We're going to build both. I will put the balloon stall back there. The map stall we can probably jam up here. Let's put it across from the... Yeah, let's put it across from the old ancient Rome exhibit. And we need our attendants for these, of course. It costs money to scout new candidates. We'll go ahead and do that so we get better stats here. Increases revenue for a sign stall. Increases revenue from a sign stall. Okay, so we'll hire both of these guys. Map stall looks like a trash can or something. I don't know. This is interesting looking. Oh, I guess it's like a suitcase maybe? And then we'll put one more guy in here. We can actually hire directly into the stall like this. There we are. Now they can get some balloons. Let's see. We have our cost. Finances. So we can change our price. And that changes the happiness. I see this is the change in price there. So if we dial this up, we want to min-max here a little bit. Okay, so yeah, it drops the price happiness, but of course you make more money. So we'll keep these balloons at, let's say, 35 for now. They're a novel item. Aliens of all sorts will be buying them. I guess on Mars they're not aliens, they're just Martians. Huh. Anyways, staff is rocking, and that's good to go. We need to put another human in here. I think we have an extra human from our American West acquisition. Yes, we do. So we'll just drop another one in here. Again, they will occasionally vomit, but what are you going to do? Having said that, let's take another peek at here. Okay, yeah, that is showing the correct symbol. I don't know if the janitors are going to take care of the human enclosure vomit situation. It seems like they're actually getting a little overwhelmed, so let's build another janitor stall. While our 5th human gets dropped in place. There we go, we have an incoming message. Even with a wide variety of amenities, humans are prone to escape. Security staff will pacify any escaped humans so that they can be returned to their pens. Maybe best to recruit some now just in case. How many security guards can fit in this? Up to 4. So let's go ahead and hire a couple more. Building's beauty, that's good. And hire one more here. We have another building. We're going to do all the building beauty ones just because it's near the front of the park. So that would be ideal. Build a security center to recruit guards. Well, we already did that. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to demolish this and rebuild it. Just for the sake of the objective. Hopefully it didn't fire all of our security guards. Again, I don't think this path was necessary. Okay, good. We kept our security guards on staff. And surely enough, there we go. We're going to get that accomplishment for building the security center. Another new message. Security aren't the only staff we'll need to run a successful park. We need janitors. So, again, we have done a good chunk of this already, just out of habit. So, let's see. We'll open the cleanliness overlay. Overlays, I think, are down here. And look at that. Things aren't too shabby. They could be better over here, though. But it does look like they eventually got the vomit out of the American West area, so that's always nice. We were going to build another janitor station anyways, because we already have 2 in here, so that's fine by me. Let's see, we'll go to facilities, janitor station. We'll put one over here now. And we'll hire 2 more janitors to staff that up. Keep things nice and tidy. Again, I'm going to use the 10 grand to scout more. Because look at these. Cleans litter 50% faster. Let's do these 2. That's going to get the job done quickly. We'll be tidy in no time. We have Cormac Tarak and Nyack Acker. Incoming message. Should get the place tidied up. And we have more opportunities for the park. Generate research points by experimenting on humans. Build a new type of observation post and generate some physics points. So we have, I believe, biology already. This is the biology observation post. I was waiting on that for this one. We will build a physics observation post in the American area here. We just need to do some experiments. So we'll go to enclosures, American, I believe facilities, and then an observation post biology. We don't want biology though. We need physics. Habitat. Research observation post physics. So we need to actually go to our research panel first. We have facilities. There we go. That's what I was looking for. This looks like a research project for a camouflaged observation post. That's funny. They don't notice it as much. It's not as obvious. There we go. Physics. Right here. We unlock this one. We have 30 points, so that's just enough. Now we can build the physics outpost. American Frontier. Facilities. And boom. Observation post physics. So we'll put it, we could drop it right here, I think, between the beds and the campfire. And we should have an extra scientist just kind of chilling right here. So hopefully I can assign him. We'll have to hire a new one. Staff. No. Interesting. It's still not letting me assign that one. I don't know why. We'll scout new candidates. I'm running low on credits, though, so I'm not going to scout too many more here. Experiments only need 1 scientist. Reduces costs. Increases physics research points from experience by 20%. Ooh. I think I'm going to do only need 1 scientist. That's going to help us out. He should have been assigned to that. Yeah, there we go. Yolak. Yolak. Oh, I see. It looks like the exit is blocked to this bed, so we can move it. We'll just move it right about here. Which I like that. They make some items easy to move, others not so much. It seems like most things can be moved just by clicking on that move button. I believe these facilities, no, they can be moved too. Oh, what do you know? But we do need more electricity. That's why we have the red around here. So go back to our utilities and we'll build a small power generator. And power cable, we'll connect it to our little post there. So I guess the biology one doesn't require electricity, but the physics one does. Let's set up a physics experiment here. So we'll go to our American frontier and we can do disintegration, incineration, or shock therapy. We'll start with a shock therapy. We'll see what happens here. Looks like he's just going to zap him. So the guests should be flocking to this particular exhibit to witness the experiments. While he's doing that, we're going to go to our acquisitions. So we've got some other habitats we can go to. Ancient Egypt, Viking, Feudal Japan, American Prohibition, and USSR. So, pretty nice variety. Interestingly enough, there's nothing that is strictly modern. These are all, at least some degree, in the past. So, there's also Workshop. Specimens collected from distance. The workshop allows you to fabricate authentic human-themed experiences for guests to enjoy. Okay. Maybe we'll get to that point in the near future. Not sure exactly what that means, if we're using them as set decorations or theming of some variety. Let's check our finances here. Are we able to do some marketing? Not yet. Pricing, can we increase our entry fee? Ooh, let's do that. I'm gonna make it 150 for an entrance fee right now. And the balloons are upsetting people. Ooh, I do like this. This is actually a really nice option to have all of your shop items and attraction tickets in one panel. Because I can see right here, the Martians are not very happy with these balloon prices. So we're gonna bump that back down to 30. See if that makes them a little bit happier. Does this pause the game? That's another thing I'd like to see. I believe it does, yes. Okay. Still getting some data. Oh, come on. He was using the facility. Nah, what are you going to do? Hopefully he doesn't shock them while they're in the spa. That would be very unfortunate. Here we go. We're about to finish our first physics experiment. We'll start a new one up right after this. So we need to get to the 30 physics research points. Oh, we already have. Nice. Incoming message. Can unlock the workshop. I was just looking at that. Enables you to make use of unwanted humans, disassembling into their component parts. Click the dispose button next to human in the inventory to see disposal options, and then spin any collected specimens in the workshop menu. So we need to research and build a workshop first. So let's go to our facilities. I'm going to guess workshop is trash compactor. Walls of steel, workshop. Oh, there we go, workshop. Okay, so we need, looks like we need more biology first. So let's actually get a biology experiment going before we can do that. More durability testing is going to be the ticket here. And there again, it shows you the basic breakdown. We have 3 very upset humans in the American frontier. And 1 science that says 11. I don't know what 011 or 11 means. Maybe that's his skill level. Let's check out. We have Yolak right here. Not sure what the 11 is indicating. However, once we get the extra data, we can unlock that workshop. I think we have to wait till the end of the experiment to get the research points. So he's just going to kind of throw them around. Again, we have more Martians enjoying their balloons. which seem to be... I'm not entirely sure. 0 out of 30, so the porter's going to bring more over here to restock. Color using only the finest human materials. Okay. I don't really want to know what those are. Maybe it's a heart shape in the most biological sense. If a heart is in fact two hearts tied together, that might be what they're indicating. There we go. That research is complete. Let's go back here and see what we've got. Yes. Facilities, workshop, unlock the workshop. Go to, oh, we have a new button down here. What does this do? Oh, it's the pin. So again, I guess if you're trying to get some fancy screenshots, let's say for the title or thumbnail of a YouTube video, you can pin that toolbar to the side. Get a nice creepy image of this bust staring up at us. Otherwise, you can click it and pin it so it stays open, which most people would probably want. New facility, workshop. So again, this one actually has an entrance, so we do need to place it on a functional path. We'll put it right here. I'm guessing it needs power, possibly water. Yes, it does need power. I like this too. It shows you the water that's being consumed on this little hotbar. Very readable. Let's see. We need to, first of all, use our utilities to connect the power to this facility. Here we go. Easy peasy. Again, it seems like we're out of power. I think we need to build another power generator. Yes, we do. So we can either build a second one or just build a larger one with this 9,000 credits. Let's go ahead and just build a larger one. It's going to save some time in the future. Now, once that's powered up, we need to generate 20 specimens by disassembling humans and fabricate the Helto-Skelto in the workshop and build the Helto-Skelto ride. So, this is our workshop. The staff it requires is janitors. That's kind of disgusting, actually. I don't want to think about the implications of putting janitors in this particular facility. But let's just say they'll be doing some cleanup. This one can't empty bins, so it sounds perfect for this kind of facility. Yeah, would you look at that? We have our first kind of specimen floating around in several parts. I think we have to go into our acquisitions tab. We go to the inventory, and then we can click on an extra human, view them, and we can use this button here to dissect for specimens. So this will generate 12 specimens. Disassemble. And let's see here. I don't know if this has an animation for doing that with said human. Maybe a saucer's going to come down and drop them off. We will see here in just a moment. I think that might have just instantly done it, actually. Let's see, do we have a capacity of any kind in here? No. Alright, well, either way, we need a new acquisition expedition. So we'll go back to the American West and start that expedition. Again, we are plowing through our money here. We're down to 20,000 credits. That saucer just went off for another expedition. I'm assuming, based on this inventory, that we do have those... Oh, we have the workshop as its own tab. So specimens, 12. Yes. So now we have different things. We have vacuum ornament, cryopod, Helto-Skelto, and then some other things we can't even click right now just to look at. But I'm guessing they will be unlocked later on. Cranial cups, pivoting peepers. So, towering above this park, this giant human toe features a gentle slide that winds down to the base. So it's sort of a little bit of a nod to one of the first rides you would build in the original Roller Coaster Tycoon game. Name is eluding me right now. I know it was a spiral slide, so forgive me for my sin of forgetfulness. Again, I'm not sure how I feel about this feeding trough. I would love to find something for the ancient Romans that is a little less demeaning. But what are you going to do? Again, I'm going to hold off on building a lot more amenities because, well, we don't have a lot of money. So we need that park income to increase a bit. On that note, we can see balloons are still upsetting the aliens a little. So let's put these back down to the original 25 credit price. Don't have marketing. I don't think that's going to be an option in the demo. So we will let that go. Also, the loan has an interest rate. So let's actually... Oh. We could pay the loan off, but it is 180 grand with a 3% interest rate. Could be worse. I'm not going to lie, actually. That's not the worst rate for a loan. But we're going to pay that off in little 5 grand chunks until we get more profit coming in. Oh, I think that's our expedition coming back. Let's see what we've got to work with here. There we are, expedition, American frontier. Inventory, actually, is what we want to look at. And look at that, we have 4 more exhibits, so to speak. They've got different stats, actually. This one, discomfort reduced from experiments. Will only use Martian-themed amenities. Drinks more and will occasionally vomit. That's not a good one. And look, their specimen count changes as well depending on their stats. This one right here will generate 0 specimens. So that's unfortunate. That means this human is probably going to get placed. This human, however, is a little needy, so we will be disassembling is the phrase they like to use. And this one we'll keep because, well, you know, they do generate a lot of specimens, but we'll keep them because I like the experiment discomfort bonus. So that is technically a good one, right? Discomfort from experiments increased. Oh, that's actually a bad thing. So yeah, we're gonna disassemble this little lady as well, and that gives us 28 specimens, so plenty to create the Helto Skelto, which we will now do. Can we do that by going through? I think it is acquisitions and then clicking workshop. Yeah. So we'll start the fabrication on Helto Skelto. And we'll let that keep going here. That's what all this is for. I see. So this workshop is the sort of fabrication base. I'm guessing that means you could probably build more than one workshop. If you really want to start cranking them out, well, maybe not. This seems to be a unique building. But I feel like they fabricate and then you place separately. So right now we only have the one ride. But when this is complete, we can actually build the Helto Skelto ride itself. There we go. It doesn't automatically update, but one click makes it work. So let's go ahead and pop this down. A little bit of a back set again because we want to put a queue in there. So we'll put it like here. And look at that. Unfortunately, it is implying that there is maybe no exit. We'll see when this is built. Needs a queue, needs staff. Okay, we can do that. So we go to, and again, queues aren't built from the paths, interestingly enough. They're built from the rides. So it's something to keep in mind. It's not exactly the most logical thing, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And that's how you zigzag if it's a little wonky as well, but it works. And the path, of course, we'll just drag that to connect. And let's get an attendant in here. Martian Luther King. Oh, definitely gonna hire that. Okay. I don't know if his dream was to work at the toe slide, but he's gonna have a little bit of fun, I think. We have a new message. Experiments aren't the only way humans can entertain guests. You can research new and interesting devices to make the most of your human exhibits. Unlike human traps, then build them from the Enclosures Facilities tab. Okay, I don't know. Don't we already have traps for the humans? Let's see. We have the workshop. Oh, human traps right here. Amenities for humans that trigger an entertaining show for guests when activated. So I guess this is just kind of a way to have a little fun at the human's expense. This one needs more biology points. So we're going to have to start a new biology experiment. Let's actually start up See if we can do 2 experiments at once. We'll start this one, and we'll start unaffordable. Oh no! I didn't realize the experiments themselves cost money. Interesting. That is going to be quite a limiting factor as we expand the park. If experiments cost money in addition to all the other expenses that we have. Good to know for future reference. Having said that, our profit actually seems to be coming back into the green quite nicely here. You can see our progress here from the last checkpoint. I don't know if these are meant to be days or months. We can also speed up time a little bit here. Looks like normal speed, double speed, frozen. Actually, this looks like it's like quadruple speed. But we'll leave this on a little sped up timer for now. Just until we can research human traps. We'll put it back to normal. Is there a hotkey for this? 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so 1 is normal, 2, and then I believe, what, P? Yeah, spacebar pauses, so 1, 2, and spacebar. Okay, good to know. It's easy peasy. Go to research, and now we should be able to afford our human traps. Go to enclosures, habitat, ancient Rome, and now, if we go down to, I think it's amenities. No? Decorations, paths, facilities. There we are. So we have a food trap and a drink trap. Okay, I guess let's try the food trap. Okay, so this is basically going to trick them when they go to consume food. We'll have a laugh. It takes power, of course, so let's grab our power cables and run some over there. And now we will observe as they approach. We also are getting close to achieving a 2.0 star park rating. We need to expand the park to attract 100 concurrent guests. So how do we check our park rating? Characters management. Maybe it's under management. Rating. Park rating is looks to be right at 2. Just a shade under. So pretty much if we do anything else, we're going to get to that 2. I think to attract more guests, though, we're going to have to build either more stalls or more enclosures. I might drop a couple more humans in as well. We have 3 in the west and 2 in ancient Rome. So let's start up another acquisition run. And we'll send some out to ancient Rome here. You can do a soul abduction run that only costs 5,000 credits. Or you can do a decor survey for only 4,000. Let's do the soul abduction for 5. And I believe we have... Yeah, we already have a couple more Westerners we can throw in. So we'll put these in the Western exhibit. And honestly, if they don't have enough facilities, I guess the only thing they might be short on is beds. But they can hot bunk it. I'm not going to stress about it. Here comes the saucer. They stack right on top of each other, dropping in those new exhibits. So that should draw in a few more of our Martian friends. And it did increase our park rating to 2. And we'll see how our characters increase. Be nice if we had a graph of the guests over time. But either way, we can check our humans and get a real-time readout on their happiness, which is also pretty useful. Speeding up time a little bit just so this expedition completes. And unfortunately, it looks like our guest count is kind of hovering right there around 75, so let's see what we just got. We have a new ancient Roman person. It is a gentleman who needs more rest and generates more research points when returned. Can you return them back to Earth? I didn't know that was an option. Maybe this just means when returned from the experiment. We'll throw them in ancient Rome. And look at that, the prank table is happening right now. Looks like it's force feeding a poor soul a whole bunch of wine. I think this is the food table though, yeah. I'm not sure how that works, but either way. Dropping in our new human. And there we are. can we do to make this a little bit more appealing? I think we might have to set up one more. Here, what we could do is actually work on getting another ride installed, because we have 2 rides right now. All the stalls you could want, bathrooms with not too long of lines. I think our best bet is a new ride. So let's go to our acquisitions and workshop, and let's see what we need to build here. We have the next couple rides are cranial cups and pivoting peepers, but I might actually go ahead and just build one of these. Let's do cryopod. Start fabrication on that. And I believe this is more of a scenery. I don't think it's so much a ride, but it's sort of an immersion. And it looks like it's built. Let's go here. I think it's a decoration. Yes. So this is considered a Martian decoration. American Frontier. So we could put these outside. We don't have to put them in the habitat. Let's put one of these outside just to see how these affect guests. Maybe they'll come browse it, check it out. Also put one inside, just for the sake of argument. We'll see if humans interact with it or if Martians interact with it. Or there might just be something to look at. We'll see. It's a little bit more immersive. Oh, and also we need to put down our new decoration, the cryopod. This one we're definitely putting out here, because I don't really want to terrify the humans. And again, this will be one of our opening things. You come right into the park, you see this human in a cryopod. So I'm guessing 4 limbs, torso, head, that's the 6 parts that are required to construct it. That's going to be my personal logic for this creation. And look at that, you see the little arrow tick up. We gained a couple of guests, but it's going back down, unfortunately. So hopefully this stabilizes back at least 75. I think we're going to need to set up some more acquisitions, because we need to get more, again, what do they call them in a way that isn't gross? Specimens. Yes, specimens is what we need. So let's send a reconnaissance mission to ancient Rome. That might get us some more decor, but a couple more humans never hurt. Can I stack up? No. Okay, you can only have the 1 expedition going at a time. We'll do more experience, though. The research. Now that we can afford more durability testing, we'll do that. So it looks like humans are on the left and scientists are on the right, if I'm not mistaken. So that's interesting. Again, I don't know if the Martian visitors will interact directly with some of these exhibits, or if they're just kind of eye candy for the general park. Looks like there's a little traffic jam happening here. It's probably because I put this barrel there, so we're going to move it out of the way. That would be nice to know if that's going to create an issue. I guess you should just assume. But it does look like there's a path that could lead around these, so it's good to know for future reference. But little objects like this can block pathways. So I guess you treat it kind of like The Sims 1. If there's not a full tile, they cannot walk through that area. Let's fast forward a little bit here. Hopefully when this expedition is over, we can get some more specimens and eventually create our next big ride. Which again, according to this, should probably be cranial cups here. So this is going to take 30 required specimens. We need 28 more. And once I build that right, I think I'm going to call it for this episode of our playthrough on the demo. There's still a little bit more to be played, actually. It's not the worst demo in terms of kind of giving you a taste of the game itself. First impressions for me, I do love some of the jokes, the language, the style definitely feels very Mars Attacks. I would like to see a little bit of variation in the guests themselves. Also, the terrain does look a little outdated as far as the quality of terrain, images, and the pathing. That could do with a little bit of an upgrade. But the operation seems to work pretty well. Everything is fairly smooth. The one issue I have had right now is the scientist who's not able to be assigned anywhere. I've just been having him kind of stand there. I guess I'll go ahead and just fire him so he's not chilling there forever. But that was kind of unfortunate to buy a useful scientist and not be able to assign him to a scientist's position. But again, these are small bugs and glitches, things that I'm sure they're still working out. They'll work out, after the full release even. Hopefully before then, but you never know. Let's check our acquisitions here. Got 2 new potential specimens. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and disassemble both of these guys. And we'll set up another acquisition trip. Sorry, expedition. We will have to spend the 10,000 credits, though, to scout new expeditions. So in this case, I am going to just use the 8,000 to do one more human. And then hopefully we can get more money there. Okay. So they'll be off to get another human for us. I like the idea of sort of blending the experiments with the zoo sort of simulation. Also having zoos and rides is kind of cool. The rides seem pretty straightforward. Again, I'm not expecting this to be Roller Coaster Tycoon on Mars or Planet Coaster Mars Edition, but maybe a little bit more customization on some kind of ride. Again, maybe a track ride, something that can roll around, or even transportation throughout the park. Might be kind of neat to see. Again, don't know what they have planned for the full release. I haven't really taken too much of a deep dive into it right now, but it is interesting. Again, very cute. If you're a fan of the movie, this is definitely kind of sparking that itch a little bit, because again, it's been 29 years since the movie came out. So if you enjoyed the movie back in '96, this is kind of a fun thing to see come to fruition. But again, it does feel a little dated in terms of the graphical fidelity. It seems like something that easily could have come out maybe 5 or 10 years ago, possibly earlier than that. If this came out in '96, it would have blown my mind. But yeah, I understand what they're kind of going for here. I think there's some more options for maybe a little bit of customization. Maybe let people kind of change colors on certain sprites. Customize the rides a bit would be nice. So I could, maybe change the colors of the bugs, or even the bugs themselves. And maybe something along that line. Again, I know the game is launching here very shortly, at least in early access. So they will have a lot of time to kind of upgrade as it goes. This is a demo prior to early access, so still very early in the game. Having said all that, I just realized they really have to call it early access, ACKESS. So it's like the alien speak, access. Sorry, I had to do that. I apologize. But yeah, it's been pretty interesting so far. Our expedition is complete, so let's actually check on that. What did we get? Here we are, another human for disassembly. We need to make another expedition. So let's fast forward time just a little bit while I continue on. Sort of my final thoughts of this first exposure. Again, we've not really dove too far into the game, but I kind of have an idea of how it's running. I think there's a lot of potential here. I just think there needs to be a good amount of polish and ideally a whole lot more content, because it does seem like the tech trees are interesting and well thought out, but fairly limited right now. I'm looking here into the research, and if you see the facilities research, we have 5 tiers. There's not even full content. There's like maybe 20 nodes in total, so I feel like there's going to be an unfortunate situation if they don't expand on this research, where you're going to finish researching the entire tech tree after 2 or 3 hours of game time, and then you'll be kind of left wanting. So, again, not bad. What is this guy? What are these guys doing over here? Martian Scorsese and Isaac Axon. Okay, I do love some of the puns on the names. I'm a huge pun fan, so they get a lot of points for me on that. The humans, I think they're always named by like letters and numbers. It might be kind of funny if they gave the humans maybe some punny names as well. But again, I do respect the idea that they're treating them like cattle, right? They are just numbers and letters. They are not on par with the life forms that inhabit Mars. They are merely Earthlings meant for their entertainment. Um, it's a little disturbing seeing some of these human traps in action, but I think that's also part of the point. So, who knows? I do like the durable feeder waters as well. That's kind of hilarious. But it is nice to give them some decent amenities, right? Like a campfire and an actual bath. That's kind of cool. Uh, Again, here our money has increased, so let's go back to acquisitions. And now we can scout new expeditions. We'll do the American frontier first. And look at that, 24,000. We can send in an invasion. And that gives us 3 humans and a 50% chance at a bonus human. So we will actually wait until we get enough money to do that. That seems like a good use of our resources. Do we have any humans in inventory? Not right now. Okay. So again, I'm going to probably finish up this episode on sort of our look at the demo. I will build the cranial cups using our specimens, and then we'll call it for now. I am going to keep playing the demo for a little bit. I do know that the early access comes out fairly soon. I think in just a few days, actually, the early access goes out. It is going to be for sale, so unfortunately, you'll have to part with a few bucks to get it. Hopefully, they make it a reasonable price. I don't know the actual price point yet. But as of now, if I had to ballpark this, I would hope they aren't charging people more than $15, $20 at the absolute most for this game. Anything more would feel a little disingenuous, if I'm being honest. If you could make this $10, I think people would be fairly happy with what this gives you for $10 and a fully realized early access game. Again, the demo's been fun. I've had a pretty good time, but again, I don't know how much staying power there is, and in a game like this, where it's a park builder tycoon-esque game, replayability is the name of the game. It's kind of the most important thing, so I'll be interested to see where they go. I should have sped up time here to get more money, but I'll tell you what we can do. Let's just bump this loan up temporarily, and then we'll send out that acquisition for our invasion. Let's see here. And then we'll see what happens here. This should give us enough specimens once the invasion is complete. And again, I understand the idea is you're focusing on the park. You're not really meant to be micromanaging the invasion of Earth or any sort of abductions. But that would be kind of fun if they maybe included some sort of mini game or even just a visualization of how the invasion was going. Again, that's not the main gameplay loop, I understand, but maybe just a visual would be kind of cool. There we go. We got 4 new humans to deal with, so let's go ahead and just make all these specimens. And again, they all have the letter and numbers. I think maybe throwing in a couple pun names here and there would be interesting. And that might be part of the plan, right? Maybe you actually get historical humans as the game progresses. Now let's click on cranial cups. We can actually make pivoting peepers as well. Let's say cranial cups seems like it'll be kind of fun though. We'll do that. Let that fabricate up here. But yeah, I've been enjoying it for the most part as a demo. Again, very low stakes. Haven't spent any money yet myself, so it's a lot easier to enjoy these kinds of games when you're just trying them out. Again, I think the price will be the most important thing when it comes to the early access. And they really, I know they intend to follow through, as all games do, but they really need to make sure that they add and improve throughout the process of early access. If they don't do that, then it's not going to be a super enjoyable game. Let's add a little space here for my queue. And one other thing, I don't know if it's just personal preference. I feel like the queue line should be under paths, but that's just a personal thing. It doesn't, I mean, it makes logical sense that it would be with rides, but I don't know, I wouldn't go searching for the queue line in the rides folder. But that's just me, so. Rotate this around here. And again, you can kind of do that. There we go, we have a nice little swooping queue. We'll pop down our path, and we'll add our attendant to see how the cranial cups move about. And again, it's a little dark because it's human skulls, right? Well, we do the same with Martian skulls, so I do understand the joke that this is sort of flipping the script on the old, oh, we make light of the aliens. Well, why wouldn't they make light of us? Let's hit our utilities up, and we'll drag some power over here. Connect power between buildings. And there it is. They've gone yellow because I feel like if they're all operating simultaneously, they would probably run out of power. Also, I'm not sure if the power is constant or only when they're in use. Something to keep in mind. I'll be deciding whether or not to jump on early access, kind of depending on how it looks after I play a little bit more of this demo. We like to try out several different demos. I have another one coming up very soon for Pax Romana, so I'll be trying that demo out. I hear that's only an hour long, so I'll be trying to make very quick use of my time. But like I said, like and subscribe, and until next time, this has been Tallidus Plays.